Once you've unclipped the lower steering column cover, you're looking for this main ignition connector, this one right here, and you're just going to disconnect that, and then you're going to connect the mating connectors from the remote starter to that. But what you want to do is you're going to be mounting your remote starter over here, so you want to make sure that you run your wires through here and over to the steering column. On this connection, what I like to do, I like to put this connector up over top of these wires and make that connection up inside of here. The reason for that is you need to get that steering column cover back on, and this right here is your lowest point. This is where the steering column cover will lock back in. If you're below that, the cover's not going to go on properly. It's going to hit against the back of the steering wheel and obviously make noise while you're driving. So like I said, I like to put it up here, and then when you're done, you can wire tie this up out of the way so that it doesn't interfere with that lower steering column cover. Okay, now we've got it tied up again so that it's up above that plastic piece there so the cover can go back on easily. Now we're going to come back over here, and these two connectors, the OBD and the 30 pin, are both going to pass down to the left of the fuse box and go down behind the fuse box where you're going to make your connections. Okay, so now once we got those down behind the fuse box, you're looking for two connectors. One, of course, is the OBD here, and the other one is right above the OBD, and it's that connector there. That connector just unclips and you remove it. The OBD, to remove it, on each side, there's a clip holding it in. You just push it on that clip and it'll pop out, and then you can make your connection and put the new OBD in its place. Okay, once those connections are made, you're gonna just take some wire ties and zip tie these up so they're up out of the way, so they're not hanging below the dashboard. And then we're gonna program our remote starter. Okay, so now we're ready to program our starter. All you're going to do is keep an eye on that little LED there, right below where it says AL. Put your key in, turn the key on. The LED is going to turn red and then turn blue. Once it turns blue, the starter is programmed. Okay, now the starter is programmed. We can move on to what we call tack learn. First thing we're going to do before we do the tack learn, we have to have the antenna connected to the remote starter. So we're going to mount the antenna here with the double-sided tape on the back of the antenna, and then you're going to run your wire through here, behind here. When you go behind here, there is an airbag, so you want to pass that wire behind the actual airbag itself, and then this seal simply pulls off, and you can run your antenna cable all the way down there and then inside the dashboard here, so you can plug it into the blue port, 4-pin port on the back of the remote starter right there. Okay, so now that we have our antenna run, we're going to do, again, what we call tack learn. What this does is it learns the engine RPM so that it knows when the vehicle is started, so that it will disengage the starter. The way we do that is we're going to start the vehicle. We're going to push the brake pedal, and at the same time we push the brake pedal, we're going to hold down the button on the remote control. And if you listen to the starter, again, foot on the brake, hold the button down, you'll hear a click from the starter. Once you hear that single click, your tack has been learned and the remote starter is now ready to operate. So now we're ready to test our starter. You hold the button down on the remote until the light on the right corner goes out. And there you have it. Now you just have to tie your remote starter up. Make sure all your harnesses are out of the way so that nothing's going to be hanging down below the dashboard, and you're good to go.